Those Fantasy Dudes podcast with your hosts, Jonathan and Jake.
We are rolling. That's right.
Okay, again, this isn't an ASMR podcast. We've talked about this. This is solely fantasy football, and we're not trying to turn it into anything else. Unless you want a video version of you speaking intimately into a microphone, I would prefer if you didn't do that.
My voice is just too sultry.
I feel like you should be on like a Simon Garfunkel cover band.
Yeah.
I could see
that. Is that because of the hair and the beard, or is that because of the voice?
That has nothing to do with the voice. That's mostly to do with just your overall appearance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So what was it like losing because DK Metcalf didn't get 24 points in your work league?
Dude, that was heartbreaking because first quarter, like it was the second possession of the game, I think. He had like 16 points or something, 15 something.
I hadn't even turned the game on yet.
Me either.
I was going against Peter in the keeper league, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, Geno Smith, it's raining, like I'm not worried. I see the score 7-0. I'm like, okay, DJ Dallas must have punched one in. Nope, 84-yard fucking touchdown grab for DK Metcalf.
So I was like, oh man, this must happen. He usually gets like 5 or 6 targets a game. He can turn that into 4 more catches for like 40 yards. That's 8 points. That'll put me right over. I'll win. Like that's no brainer, right? They've got 3 more quarters of football to play. It'll happen.
Of course.
Nope.
It'll happen.
Nope.
No, 2 receptions for 96 yards, I think.
Which is a game.
So,
the worst part is you can't bitch about it. It's a good game.
That's a good game.
It's a good game. So, but I'm 6-1, still in first place because Allie didn't score enough. So.
Yeah, I'm also just destroying my work league because I had Michael Pittman going in the Sunday night game against my friend Matt at work. Matt, are you listening? I know you just followed the podcast, so I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Matt. But I think I need 14 for Michael Pittman to win, and it took until the last drive of the 49ers to huck him a 15, 20-yard touchdown grab in the rain for the win.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'll take that. I am 2 games up on everyone else in the league.
Ugh.
So... love that.
Yeah,
pretty big fan of that.
I should have been here, dude. If I lose this league, I'm gonna be so upset.
It's most likely you're gonna get dicked in the playoffs. It's like something's gonna happen. Like
I can't. I know we'll talk about it more later. But I can't believe I lost in the league. I still haven't won in.
Just by the way, Jake's 0-7, and he is a fantasy football quote unquote analyst for this podcast.
I've never put myself as an analyst. Hey, you never know. Look, I'm playing. He scored, if not the most points, top 3 in the league, and sometimes that's how it is.
And that apparently 7 weeks in a row, that's been how you just get.
No,
you've gotten dealt the worst schedule possible.
I've had a pretty rough go of it.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everyone has those days, Jake.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Everybody gets that way.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Oh, yeah. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way.
All right, well, you can check us out. We are Those Fantasy Dudes. This is the Those Fantasy Dudes podcast. We have a new show every single Wednesday where we talk about the NFL news, injury updates, keeper, redraft, dynasty, and we answer some of your questions that you can submit via our website or Instagram. ThoseFantasyDudesPodcast.com, at Those Fantasy Dudes on Instagram and Facebook. You can check us out on all the various podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Apple, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, CastBox, Reason Radio, Public Breaker, Pocket Cast. Anchor is our host platform, and we're also sponsored by Anchor. If you want to make a podcast, go over to Anchor. Jake, we've almost made $1.
That's a lot of money.
So we could split that and still basically be able to buy nothing from that.
Can you imagine if this were like 1933?
We would be rich.
Yeah, we would also be. People would be very, very confused
as to what a podcast was.
I think a lot of this. There was
even a radio.
They had football. No, football was around. I don't think it was the same.
No one thought to talk about it on a weekly basis in a podcast platform on Zoom.
Can you imagine if you took somebody like Aaron Donald and put him in like 1932 football?
He'd be the most in shape human being on the planet at the time.
Dudes were smoking cigarettes on the sideline at that point.
Hell yeah.
They were smoking cigs and drinking beer like during the game.
100%. I have nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't mind going back to the 30s to witness a football game. Bart Starr, he was in the 60s, but close enough.
Yeah, that was nice. I don't know anyone back there, but I'm also not going to try to say Bart Starr was smoking cigs and drinking beer.
If he was, you know, he won 2 Super Bowls, so all the power to him. He's a cool guy. His name's Bart. So
I don't think Bart's a very cool name.
You wouldn't name your kid Bart?
No.
I would respect you more if you did.
That's upsetting. What do you think of me now?
I don't know. What would be your number 1 kid name? It wouldn't be Bart?
Probably John.
Aw.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the show. That's all we needed to hear. I fish for 1 compliment a week, and usually I get it pretty early on. So, cool. Why don't we get into some injury updates and NFL news, Jake?
Let's do it.
NFL news and injury updates.
All right. So, this hurts me to say, but it's not really news, but it's news for me where J.D. McKissic is out snapping Antonio Gibson. And I think it's mostly due to the game scripts because the Washington football team is not great at football at the moment, although they are called the football team. Maybe they should call them the bad football team, the Washington bad football team.
Wow, you've been cooking that one up since last week?
I just thought of it now, actually.
It shows.
Yeah, it's really bad. We can cut that out. Nope, we're leaving it in. It's just Antonio Gibson, dude. I love him. He does have that little bit of an injury where his shin hurts. I would be out for the count. His shin hurts?
No, what did you just say?
A little bit of an injury. What did I say? I don't know what I said. I forget 5 seconds before I say things.
A little bit of an injury.
It's a little.
What is that? Is that different from a little bit of an injury?
I think so, because for Gibson, it's like it's not a big deal, but for everyone else, they're like, damn.
Is it though? Because it seems like he's losing work to McKissic, which would be a big deal.
Well, I mean, he still played 30 snaps, which is a pretty fair amount, and I think he had a reasonable amount of carries. He had more carries than McKissic had, but obviously McKissic is getting like 6 receptions a game to like 2 of Gibson, so. Which, that's not new. Like, that has happened in the past. It's just, as a Gibson owner, when I have McCaffrey injured and my only other running back is, like, Khalil Herbert, that fucking blows ass.
Yeah.
Wow. Ass.
All right. Yeah. No, I think they heard you.
Jimmy Garoppolo will apparently start this week against Chicago, although Trey Lance is on pace to return. According to Kyle Shanahan, Garoppolo has the job. Here's the thing, though. They need to trade Garoppolo before the deadline. Just let Trey Lance start. They're already, 2-5? Just get rid of him at this point.
I agree with you. Hold on. Sorry, I kicked a fan underneath my desk.
Why is the fan under your desk?
It's off.
How's your Roomba doing lately?
Roomba's great, dude. I love Roomba.
How is it faring in your new apartment? Because I know it was getting caught up on a few things.
It's actually better here. It has more room, and it's not the floor is actually even here, so it doesn't get stuck under the couch, and also it can go upstairs and it won't fall down the stairs. That's a neat.
It can go upstairs?
No, it doesn't go upstairs, but we put it upstairs, and it'll clean upstairs, and we take it back down.
How does it do? Like, do you still have to vacuum out the corners? Do you have another vacuum to get the corners of the rooms?
Yeah, Allie goes around and does stuff like that.
Okay.
So she could have more accurate information for you, but I would say yes, that stuff still gets picked up later. And also, it's got this little brush thing, so it'll go around and it'll go into the corner and it spins and it pulls out dust from the brush. Or from the corner. Yeah, it's got yeah.
It's like a full-on Johnny 5.
It wasn't cheap. I mean, I didn't get I don't know what
It's like $300 at least, right? Yeah. It's like not, it's not a small amount for a Roomba. I just want one because I want my cat to ride around on it.
Yo, Molly would hate this.
She probably would not like it, but I feel like
Molly would fucking not like this, John. Although it depends if you sent it out, I think she might ride it eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think give it time, and I think they might be best friends. And
she did like the Xbox, yeah. So
yeah, it's warm. I'm sure the Roomba has some warmth to it.
Yeah,
it is a machine. The Cowboys have designated Michael Gallup, my favorite player in the NFL, to return from the IR. He's been out since week 1. They have 21 days to reinstate him and return him to practice and add him to the 53-man roster. I hope they don't. I don't want him on the field. I do have some stakes in the Cowboys, especially CD Lamb. They both have letters in their names, although it is spelled slightly differently.
That hard for you? That's too challenging?
Yeah. The alphabet is really difficult to get through sometimes.
It's okay.
Do you think Michael Gallup will be useful when he comes back?
Yeah, I think
or
he's
will he just ruin the fantasy output of my players?
I think he's a talented wide receiver, and I think he will be able to produce well, still being, still allowing other pieces to produce. I think you're going to see less work for the tight ends more than anything.
And I'm kind of okay with that. I'm not starting Dalton Schultz, but I am trying to trade him because I have him in the keeper league.
Yeah.
Do you want Dalton Schultz?
I have Darren Waller, so I'm going to have to pass.
Yeah, but like Dalton Schultz is like it's on a much better offense, Jake.
Look,
much
if
better.
you want Darren Waller, I'm fine with that trade, Jonathan.
Trade talks for Deshaun Watson are intensifying, and a decision is likely to be made this week. The deadline is November 2nd at 4 p.m. So that's actually the day we're going to record next week's podcast. So maybe by then, by 4 p.m., we'll know if Deshaun Watson is on another team or in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. The only things that I really care to talk about is like, would you be willing to add him to your roster, say on Dynasty or in the Keeper League?
It's a tough one.
If you need a quarterback,
he's definitely already on elite or on somebody's team. There's no way he's a free agent.
He is available in
our Keeper League,
I
probably.
think he is available in the Keeper League, yes.
But not Dynasty. Like Dynasty maybe, but that's still, I don't know. Those allegations that's pretty damning. So I don't think I would.
I'm not afraid to admit the fact that if he plays football and he's good at football, I'll start him on my fantasy team. I don't care what he's done. There's been other people in the league that have done far worse, and they still are starting on my fantasy team. Antonio Brown, Kareem Hunt.
Antonio Brown threw a bicycle at a mailman.
Yeah, I mean, the mailman probably had it coming.
I mean, that's just a way funnier crime is the thing.
If Deshaun Watson had thrown a bicycle at someone, I would be a lot less concerned.
Can you imagine if 23 people came forward and were like, Deshaun Watson threw a bicycle at me?
Where's he getting all these bikes? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Well, anyway, it's not that, and unfortunately, you got to make those kinds of decisions. I don't think I would. It's not like a personal stand. It's just not. There are other people I already like, and he's not one that I feel like I need to have on my team. So.
Also, at least for like if I was a general manager of a team and I knew I had to give up 3 first-round draft picks for a player that might go to prison, I'm probably not going to do that for the future of my team. That just seems stupid, and you look like an idiot if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So, wide receiver Chris Hogan, former Patriot, has retired.
Oh, I remember. He's one of the players I remember from like high school and college era, right?
Yeah, he was playing around that time. He played in like the Super Bowl 50. No, we played in all 3. 51, 52, 53. I remember he didn't get a single catch in 53, and I was like, we should get rid of him. He sucks. But I think he spent some time on the Panthers and the Saints or something, but he's gone.
Isn't he really good at lacrosse?
Oh, yeah, he plays lacrosse now. No
Yeah.
wonder he's not. He's officially retiring from the NFL. That makes sense.
He's like, fuck the NFL. I'm going to play lacrosse.
Is that the first time that's ever happened? A former NFL Super Bowl winner is like, I want to play lacrosse.
I mean, I don't think that's the first time a former Super Bowl winner has played the sport of lacrosse, but I do think that's the first time they've left to play professionally, if that's what he does.
I feel like that's like the equivalent of an NFL player going to play for the WNBA.
I don't think that is. I think that's probably like Tim Tebow, I would say, is more of an accurate representation of what you're looking for. Or
I guess that's fair.
Didn't
Well, the
Deion
MLB is like a
Sanders-
professional league.
So is the the MLA, Major League Lacrosse. What is it?
Major Lacrosse Association?
Major Lacrosse.
MLL. That's probably not what it is.
That's probably not it. That doesn't.
I want to see someone go
sound
to.
like-
I want to see like Tom Brady play for the PGA, professional golf. I want to see a football turned professional golfer like officially. That'd be sick.
That won't happen.
The Eagles have traded Joe Flacco back to the Jets in wake of Zach Wilson's injury.
Wow.
How do you feel about Zach Wilson getting hurt?
Sad. I don't know. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. I can feel it.
Tony Romo said it, so it must be true.
Tony Romo knows how to play football.
This is about Joe Flacco, though. Aren't you excited that he gets to return to his former team?
What? Joe Flacco's.
He was on the Jets.
Joe Flacco's a Raven.
Yeah, I mean, he was, but they didn't care to keep him. Then he went to the Jets.
He
and then
won a
went to the
Super
Eagles, and
Bowl.
now he's on the Jets again. Okay.
He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Why am
Yeah,
I
they had
arguing
fucking-
about this? Joe
They
Flacco's
had
a Raven.
Terrell Suggs and fucking Ray Lewis. They didn't
Okay.
need Joe Flacco.
Okay, did they start anybody at quarterback, Jonathan?
I'm sure there was a man hucking the football.
Yeah. What was his name?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So Joe Flacco, the Raven, is back on the Jets, huh?
They should call him Joe Flappo.
I was hoping for Jets Flacco, but that was, I guess you could say something stupid like that, too.
Yeah, most of my puns are honestly just terrible. Yeah, we got a season-ending injury. It's pretty big, pretty important, and pretty damaging to all your fantasy teams and the NFL as a whole. Will Lutz hurt his groin. He's done for the year.
That's, it's injuries like this where it's like you hate to see it. Week 7, that's your buy-in. You're done.
What am I supposed to do without
What do
Will
you do?
Lutz?
How do you pivot away from that? How do you
injury?
pivot away from a kicker like that?
But here's the thing, like
Stuff.
we make fun of this now, and then next week, fucking all of our like top tier running backs and wide receivers are gonna go out with like ACL tears. It's gonna be
That's
terrible.
not true. Don't put that evil on me.
We've been lucky the last few weeks. I'll say that. There's been some injuries, but nothing like horribly damaging to fantasy football, which has been nice.
That's true.
So speaking of Zach Wilson, he's most likely to be out at least 2 to 4 weeks, according to Adam Schefter. Mike White, which is like the most boring name in the history of the planet, did come out and relieve Zach Wilson and outscored Patrick Mahomes.
Who says something like that? That was mean.
Mike White?
That was mean, Jonathan.
It's like a manila folder of names.
No. Come on. I bet he's a great guy.
Just because he's on the Jets, you're backing him up. His
That's
name's
not true.
Mike
I don't
White.
know.
Are you going to start Mike White this week?
No.
You gonna
I
pick him up in
cannot
Dynasty?
possibly recommend starting Mike White. No. God, no.
Miles Sanders hurt his ankle. He was carted off the field after he went down. I'm so sorry for just trading Miles Sanders to you, Jeff.
Get dunked on, Jeff. You should have taken my offer, you dumb bitch.
You idiot.
Fucking Jeff. Listen
It really
to Jonathan
wasn't.
when he's like, "Oh, it's for the better part of the league. Don't take Jake's offer. Think about
Well,
what
yet you're
is
still
your-"
6-1, so eat shit, dude. You do not need Travis
shut
Kelce,
up,
you dick.
Shut up. Yeah,
He's
actually, it
at
looks
a-
like
he-
I
honestly-
don't want Travis Kelce, so thanks for saving me.
He's been playing shit the last 2 weeks anyway.
Patrick
so it doesn't
Mahomes has
matter.
been sucking, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see that NFL tweets where the kid was just crying doing Fortnite dances and it was like Jackson Mahomes when the Chiefs are down
God.
by 24?
I genuinely wonder if the actions of Jackson Mahomes and Brittany whatever have readily affected Patrick Mahomes' outfit on the field. That's what it seems like.
No.
Because it's so like cringy and awful. Like I would not want to be associated with the mother of my daughter, Patrick Mahomes, and his wife. Ugh.
Oh, I think he's fine, Jonathan. I don't think I think he'll be all right.
God, Jackson Mahomes is the fucking just vein of my existence.
Yeah.
I don't care that you traveled to Tennessee to watch your brother play football. You have nothing better to do in your fucking life.
You would be far worse if you had a sibling who played the NFL.
I would not. I would not be dancing on Sean Taylor's memorial in Washington. That's fucked up.
I don't think you'd be doing that, but you'd be doing something stupid.
I'd just be belligerently drunk at the very least. I don't think I'd be like actually offending anybody.
Yeah. Well, that would be good, I guess. Then, I guess, yeah. You're right. Him being an absolute blackout drunk should be what he's doing.
I think that would be better than what he is doing now. Give it a few years. And speaking of Miles Sanders, I guess there's no real information on when he's going to come back, but I would at least give it a few weeks. Kenneth Gainwell has been pretty great as it is, almost better than Miles Sanders in the last few weeks. So maybe snag him. Maybe.
No. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell's in Dynasty. I think he's a trade for. But
I was pretty hyped on him before the season, to be honest.
he's good. I think a good opportunity. I don't think he could, maybe he is one of those league winners. That could be.
It's possible.
It's
You
really
never
tough
know.
to see. What happened to Boston Scott? Is Boston Scott gone?
No, he's there. He actually scored a touchdown. I think they both did this
So
week.
then I think, I think you could see it. I think it's important to pay attention. If you can spare the roster space for both of them, one of them is going to be important.
Yeah, at the very least, they both should be rostered for the time being.
They should both, for sure.
Josh Jacobs hurt his chest. Reports say he most likely avoided a major injury. If he doesn't play this coming week, I guess Kenyon Drake is an option. He did score a touchdown. But it's going to be Kenyon and Peyton Barber as an RB by committee going against the Giants this week, or actually week 9 against the Giants. They're on bye this week, so it honestly might not even be worth picking up any of those guys because Jacobs will probably be back in week 9. if you were starting Jacobs at all.
If you're starting Jacobs, things haven't been necessarily going your way. I don't think he's been very good.
Yeah, not great.
So
yeah, Kareem Hunt's been officially added to the IR. He's out until at least week 11 against Detroit. This bodes well for guys like Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson, because Dearness had a fucking fantastic week on Thursday night.
yeah, I had him on my bench, and luckily that start wouldn't have mattered, so that's good.
Yeah, you're lucky, because I started him, and he's the reason I won in my work league.
Yeah, but I still probably won't start him this week because my options in that league are Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, or Austin Eckler. So
I hate you for that. And we're playing this week, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh,
What a
man,
matchup.
I can't believe I don't get Darren Waller for this week.
Eat shit. And I don't get. If you played me next week, I'd very likely have CMC. So you're lucky.
Oh boy. Wow. I'm so scared.
If you're scared, you know, kick
I'm
your ass
so
in the playoffs,
scared.
you son of a bitch.
Jonathan, please don't play him.
Fuck you. You know what? I bet I could beat you without even playing him. Even if he was starting, I would just bench him anyway.
Maybe.
That would be quite the baller move. Could you imagine?
You'd still get dunked on because you suck.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Browns, Nick Chubb has that ankle injury. Hasn't played since week 5, but according to Kevin Stefanski, he's hopeful that Chubb will play in week 8 against the Steelers.
I think Chubb plays this week.
Yeah, latest report says he's expected to play. I would still monitor him in practice. There's always a chance for setbacks, but if he does play, don't expect an insane workload with Kareem Hunt out. I'd still think that they're going to limit him, but
I would think Dearness Johnson's going to have a great game.
I think they're both startable options this week. Like, they definitely are. They are playing a somewhat good defense in the Steelers, but I think they could both get in the end zone and both be reasonably good for RB2/flex plays this week.
Yep. That sounds sounds good to me.
Cool. Chris Carson has been officially added to the IR. This hurts me in my Yahoo Winners League, which I am just chugging along at 4-2. The Seahawks are just, for me, I just avoid that team altogether right now. Really. Lockett sucks. He's not doing anything. He got 3 points last night. 2
DK
receptions.
Metcalf's a high-tier athlete. I don't think you should avoid him.
Of all people on the Seahawks, I would start DK Metcalf, but I would be prepared for him to have a bad game at any given time.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I think you have a higher chance of bad games, but he's also a really, really good athlete who will make plays because he's just bigger than the other people he's going against.
Yeah, he's superhuman, and he wears a binky in his mouth when he plays football.
He does do that.
I noticed that last night. I was like, oh, yeah, he's a whole vibe, isn't he?
Doesn't DeAndre Swift, or not DeAndre Swift, DeAndre Hopkins do that too?
I think if you're really good at wide receiver, you can just do whatever the hell you want.
Isn't it Nook? Isn't that why they call him that?
I have no idea.
I swear it is.
I just know he has blue hair and a binky, and he's a full-on human being man that could crush me with his pinky.
Dude, he was talking shit to Shannon Sharp. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
Shannon Sharp, arguably one of the best tight ends of all time, if not the best tight end. You could make that argument.
Yeah.
Was I guess saying something about a play that DK Metcalf should have made, and DK Metcalf was talking trash to him, and Shannon Sharp was like, "You better hope your career looks anything like mine at the end." And I mean, it's just definitely not respecting the elders.
I mean, I wouldn't fuck with Shannon Sharp. He's a big dude still. Still a big dude.
Shannon Sharp was also, he is a top 3 option at his position in the NFL.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, and Antonio Gates, I would say, are top 3 veterans right there.
I would say you have to toss Rob Gronkowski into that conversation, but yes.
Well, I would say retired veterans. I would go with those 3.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
Definitely, right. Rob. Christian McCaffrey is set to come off the IR in week 9. Jake is so fucking lucky, but
yeah, you should. I
don't hold my breath for Christian McCaffrey. You really never know. I don't hate my other options, but Chuba has been vastly underperforming for all my fab that I spent on him. It sucks. I mean,
oh no,
he's just
That's
not
so bad.
Shut up. It doesn't help that there's other people that care, Jake. It's not just because I'm playing you, dick. He just hasn't gotten the end zone, and Sam Darnold fucking blows ass when Christian McCaffrey's not on the field. It's like he's back with Adam Gase or something. It's terrible.
I mean, yeah. I think anybody's automatically better when Christian McCaffrey is on the field and available.
I feel like I could complete a few passes if Christian McCaffrey was on the field. You know?
Look, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Maybe to the back of my offensive lineman's head. That's about it.
Yeah, that's at least
because they would tower over. I couldn't even see past my offensive line if I was on the NFL field. They're so tall, and I'm sort of.
Now
short.
you're talking.
Yeah.
Now you're talking, John.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still eyeing a Week 9 return as well after going the short-term IR in Week 6, so keep an eye out for him. Daryl Williams had kind of a shit week, but I would still potentially start him. No, would you start Daryl Williams going into this week against the Giants?
He's good. I think he's startable. The Chiefs right now, I don't know what the hell happened, but
2-4.
Maybe this could be a get-right game.
3-4.
You'd hope that this, if anything's going to be like their get-right game, it's so they can just beat up on the Giants. Like, I think that would really do a lot for their team if they could just go out there and, hang 40 on them.
If the Chiefs don't win this week against a Giants team that is missing all the receivers, running back, and Daniel Jones is their top running back right now, yikes. Big yikes for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Yikers Island.
David Montgomery eyeing a Week 9 return after missing 4 straight weeks. He may sit out a little bit long. This is just me spitballing. This is not an actual report. This is me thinking. He might sit out longer with the Chicago bye being in Week 10. I don't think they don't 100% need to bring him back with how serviceable Khalil Herbert has been. So I think there's a chance he could come back Week 9, but they may just sit him out until Week 11, which I would hate. But I think it's possible.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I think that's, I see what you're saying, yeah.
So I just monitor that. If you have Khalil Herbert, he's been great, and I think Davian Williams is no longer going to take up much of the work. I think you can start Herbert until Montgomery comes back. Michael Thomas, this might hurt you, Jake, in your 0-7 redraft team. He is eligible to return this week, but according to Ian Rappaport, he still might be a few weeks away, which... At this point, just fucking retire. If you're not going to play football, just go away. Just be gone. Rid of you. No more Michael Thomas.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to drop him now, so I don't know.
You might as well. It's not like he's given you any points this year. He's just taking up a roster spot. You could have a Darnell Mooney on your team.
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, I've tried to trade for him, but now I have changed my mind on that entire front.
I got to pick up a quarterback in that league, actually. All right, I'm staring at my fucking phone during this, trying to do roster shit now.
You're fine.
That's one of the curses. The curses of these, the curses of this doing a podcast is we'll get talking. I'll be like, oh
shit, I should probably do this and that.
I got to check my lineups. Actually, I haven't set them so far. I want to set them for this week, see what I got and what I need to do.
All right. Man, if you could stick with me for an hour, then you can take care of that.
All right, yeah, sorry. All right, what's next?
Dawson Knox, we did talk about this last week, but he did break his hand.
Yeah.
He's going to be out at least 3 weeks, just so you know. I don't even know what the other tight end is on the Bills.
I mean, luckily, I don't think you drafted him, so he probably wasn't your starter. I mean, he's probably your starter, but he probably wasn't, the only tight end you had, I guess.
He is my starter in my Yahoo Winners League, and I'm down to Ricky Seals-Jones Jr. Turning into a dog here. Ricky Seals Bark Jr. George Kittle set to come off the IR in Week 9. The 49ers fucking need him back. But
I want to try to trade for him, but
I don't want him. I hope that he just stays hurt because Deebo Samuel is a godsend to my keeper league team. Yeah. The guy is unbelievable. So
yeah, well, that's nice of you that you want him to stay hurt. I'm sure he appreciates that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him personally, so I'm sure he isn't listening to this podcast. If you are, I hope you're doing great, but just don't play. COVID IR here. This sucks for Allie's team. Devontae Adams was added to the COVID-19 reserve list and is likely to miss the Thursday night football game against Arizona.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Brutal. Allie, I'm willing to trade you Deebo Samuel and Dalton Schultz for Devontae Adams. If you're listening, that is my offer. I expect it to be denied.
Allie does not listen to this. I just want you to I want to make that very clear.
Wow, even my mom probably listens to this.
That's like trying to put up a smoke signal right now and being like, I hope Allie sees this.
And I'm 3,000 miles away. That's the chance.
Yeah, I want you to know that is exactly as effective as what you're doing right now.
Fuck.
If I don't tell her, she'll never know about this.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll reach out to her personally, privately. Patrick Mahomes got a concussion.
Patrick.
According to him, he was, quote, fine.
He's, quote, chilling.
Yeah, chilling against a 27-3 loss to the Titans and Mike Vrabel.
Man,
He'll be fine. He's gonna play
Andy
week 8.
Andy Reid went home and he just beat the shit out of a hamburger.
You think so? I think that I hope he at least took advantage of some of that Nashville barbecue, because goddamn, there's some good food down there.
Yeah, have you fucking ever been to Nashville?
I have. Yep.
Oh.
I drove through Nashville one time. We went to Krispy Kreme. Saquon Barkley is.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were they crispy?
They were fresh off that belt, boy. They were like melt in your mouth, almost like you're eating a lifesaver. That's how good they are. They just melt in your mouth. It's a donut, not a lifesaver. Either way, really good donuts. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, A+ donuts.
Saquon Barkley still has that ankle injury. He did not practice at all leading up to week 7. They've yet to put him on the IR. I still wouldn't be surprised if they did, which would suck, but I would just keep an eye on him this week, see if there's any setbacks. Again, we're recording this on Tuesday, so it's hard to get any like legitimate updates midweek for these players. But if you have him, obviously you want to start him, so monitor that.
Dude, I tried to give the guy who has Saquon, Devonta Booker, Andy Ernest Johnson, and somebody else to try to get like, I think it was an upgrade at quarterback, and like I don't remember what it was. And he sent me back like just some dog shit offer.
It's so hard for me to get. There's only a select few people, dude, that I feel like I can actually get an offer through to without them just rejecting it or giving me something shit.
I don't understand why. Like, just send me a legitimate offer. Send me what you think you could do. Like, it's not like I think people are just too afraid of getting burned.
We do have a question that we're going to get to in the question segment, I suppose, where we can break that down a little bit.
The mailbag?
The mailbag. Yeah, that's what we call it, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Words
sure,
escape.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Fuck. Maybe now we don't. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Antonio Brown, there's no new information, but he did miss week 7 against Chicago. I'm sure he will be okay, but the Bucs don't need him to win games. Like, if he's hurt, he might as well not play, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's better to have him in 2 weeks than have him hobbled in 1 and then hobble for 2.
Sure. And the entire wide receiver core for the Giants is injured. I would very much expect Kenny Golladay with his upper extended knee and Kadarius Toney with the ankle to miss this week, and both theoretically could end up on the IR. So I'd keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard might come back this week, but if not, you are stuck with Dante Pettis and Darius Slayton against the
Dante
Chiefs.
Penis.
Whoa. Hey, man, come on. He's probably dealt with that far more than he'd like to admit in his life.
Dude, that's got to be, that's a tough one.
Yeah, but now he can say he's an NFL player and all those people can go fuck off.
Dude, what if one of the people who called him that is also an NFL player now?
And his name is also Dante Penis.
What are you talking about?
We should go to the
All
Giants game and get personalized jerseys that say penis on the back, but it's his number.
I think that I'm probably not going to do that.
All right, well, I'll leave the opportunity there. Jerry Judy's going to come back this week. He's been medically cleared, is set to return week 8. He hasn't played since week 1, so but for me, I have him in my Yahoo Winners League on the IR. He's been sitting there since week 1. I would not start him this week, though. I mean, Denver hasn't really been that great on offense as it is, so I don't know if the target share is going to be even flex worthy at least this week. So I would keep an eye on him. He might be drop worthy if he doesn't perform this week or next week.
Yeah.
You're really good at conversing today, aren't you? Over there working on your lineups.
I'm trying to trade. Trying to do some trades, Jonathan.
All right. We'll crank through the rest of these injuries. Darren Waller, you have him. Ankle injury. He did sit out Sunday's game against the Eagles.
Foster Moreau had a good game.
Foster Moreau did have a good game. If you started Foster Moreau, good on you for taking the risk and capitalizing on it, because goddamn, he had a good game.
Yeah.
Touchdown, like 18 points overall. I think Waller will be fine. He was practicing in warm-ups and then just decided to sit out. So I think he'll play week 9. I wouldn't be too concerned. Jonnu Smith, shoulder injury. He did exit the game early. I would monitor him during practice this week. I don't think anyone was starting him. But basically what this does mean is it gives more targets to Hunter Henry. That's what it means. So if you do have Hunter Henry, you can start him.
I have Hunter Henry against you.
Oh, my God.
Because I would have Darren Waller, so it's not a positive. It's just like a
I hope he has a fucking shite
Silver
week.
lining.
Yeah, I hope he has a really bad week. Rob Gronkowski did not play last week against Chicago. I am personally surprised he hasn't been added to the IR, but he's got those broken ribs, punctured lung still going on here.
It's tough with Robert Gronkowski because he kind of showed up and he did a whole bunch at the beginning of the season and then he got injured. So now it's like, do you drop him? Do you hold on to him? I say at this point if you've been holding on to him, you hold on to him. Yeah. If you were going to cut, you should have cut right at the beginning, for future reference. But if you're holding on to him, just stay steady until you have a guarantee, because he is clearly trusted and he does not need a lot of work to get touchdowns because Tom Brady trusts him in the end zone.
You can see watching the Bucs that he clearly doesn't have the same sort of just connection with OJ Howard and Cameron Brate. Like it's night and day when Rob Gronkowski's on the field.
I mean, doesn't he have 100 touchdowns with Gronkowski?
He has a lot.
I'm pretty sure it's 100.
100 of his 600 touchdowns.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be. I'm not saying that that's not true.
I want to say it's up there.
How many touchdowns has Tom Brady thrown to Rob Gronkowski in his career?
Rob Gronkowski has 0 passing touchdowns during his NFL career.
Siri's a fucking idiot. She is so stupid. Tom Brady has 602. I didn't realize he threw.
He threw 2 more after. Yeah, dude, Mike Evans had a 3 touchdown game.
Yeah, and he still lost in Dynasty. We'll get to that though.
Whatever.
That's what you get for starting the entire Browns offense that didn't even fucking
started the entire
play.
Browns offense. I started the entire healthy Browns offense, and then they didn't even play.
Yeah, so don't try to back yourself up. It didn't work.
Dude, I had no one else.
Well, make some trades.
I had no one else. I'm not going to make some trades.
I don't want you to come out and say
I have Dalvin Cook.
Okay, I don't want you to be able to come out and say hey, I had everyone on bye, so this loss doesn't count in terms of overall matchups, because that's bullshit.
I'm not saying that. I was on a bye. It does count, but
I had people on bye. I had no Najee Harris, and I still blew you out of the fucking
dynasty.
water.
It's a little bit different dynasty.
No, it still
the same.
counts. Doesn't matter.
No, because there's other people that would have been on the waivers that would have started over fucking Rashard Higgins if I could have started anyone over Rashard Higgins.
You were you beat other people this year. I mean, you couldn't beat me though. I mean, it just proves how bad you are at fantasy football.
Shut the fuck up. You haven't even won a championship in the time we've been playing together.
So I won a Yahoo Winners. Yeah. I won a free Yahoo League last year.
Me too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Hey, look.
Logan Thomas is on the IR. He's probably going to return in week 10, but who cares? Because Ricky Seals-Jones Jr. is playing on the
what you really want out there is Ricky Seals-Jones Jr.
I hope we get to talk about him again this podcast episode.
I hope we get to have him on the podcast. That would be great. He seems obtainable.
I feel like we could get him.
I feel like we could get Ricky Seals-Jones Jr.
Yeah. Let's try. We'll talk to our producer. Hey, producer guy. Yeah, I'm the producer.
It's me. It's Jonathan.
I'm also the producer. I do everything. Okay, that's it for injuries. Thank God. That's a lot. Jesus.
That was a lot, Jonathan.
You know how much time that took me to find all those?
Into this.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a long time to get all that information.
Jeez.
We got 2 teams on bye this week, the Ravens and the Raiders.
Geez.
You're without Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman. And you don't got no Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Darren Waller, or Henry Ruggs, or Hunter Renfrow, Jake. No Hunter Renfrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, Jake, why don't we get into the matchup rewind?
Let's do it.
Matchup rewind.
Do you want to go ahead and say what your record was for the week, or should I start? Yeah, so Jake did go 1-3. That's his one win was in the keeper league.
Yeah, which is good because I'm still in first over you. Which until recently we were referring to as the league of record. So
yeah, it is still the league of record. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a keeper league.
So if I win it again, you can't talk shit.
No, I will shut my mouth for at least another
back
year.
to back. Oh man,
back to back. I would hate you so much. This podcast might end.
I'm gonna dunk on you so hard if I go back to back.
It's not gonna happen, dude. I'm telling you right now.
I've got such a good team.
I know. I hate your team. Trade
my
me
wide
Austin
receiver
Eckler.
3 is like Deontay Johnson.
Will you trade me Jonathan Taylor for Christian McCaffrey and Chuba straight up? Go.
Ooh, that's a good offer. Yeah, I guess I would.
You would do that?
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
But
Especially
I don't
my
want to
RB2.
drop. I don't want to drop anybody to have both of those guys. That's the problem. Is I can just have Jonathan Taylor right now.
I'll trade you Chuba for Jonathan Taylor then. If you don't want McCaffrey.
Oh wow,
Would you do that?
That's a good offer.
Thank you.
No.
I feel like we could come to a consensus, but I don't know. McCaffrey
Yeah,
1 week
just
away.
saying.
There's no reason to. If it was 3 weeks ago, maybe. In terms of matchups, yeah, I went 5-0 this week. I won all 5 of my leagues. I won redraft by 1 point. 1 fucking point. I won that league by. So I apologize. I think it was, I don't know, Mitchell or Ian that I went against, but sorry. Sucks for you. You lost to a 2-6 team. Or 2-5 team. I won the keeper league last night with DK Metcalf kind of underperforming, I guess you could say, and I destroyed you in Dynasty.
Yeah. I mean, Dynasty was over before it started.
That's fair. I mean, DJ Dallas 0 points. What happened there? What, he did not play, or I don't even know what the hell happened. He had 2% of the snaps and didn't get an attempt. So I don't know.
Turns out I should have started Samaje Perine, although still would not have mattered. So
yeah, he actually had a better game than Mixon, but
give me Mixon. I don't know why you got Mixon to begin with.
what do you mean? It's Joe Mixon.
12 carry, I guess.
He got a touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I didn't give up much for him, and he has a boatload of work for the most part. But I mean, not this year because Jamar Chase is getting all of it.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is so good.
That's what it sucks about Mixon. That's why I'm already trying to trade him. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't if anyone's listening.
Just take
and you wanna-
Samaje Perine from me.
I don't want Samaje Perine. I mean, I
his
do,
backup.
but I'm not going to give you anything good for him.
Give me a first.
I don't even have a first to give you. I already traded it away.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to start
It's
making
true.
trades to get another first back to in turn trade that away for something else. If you want to give me your first, I'll trade that. Did you already trade your first?
No, I still have my first. I give you my first for Mixon straight up.
No, eat shit.
That's a fair trade. How
That
is
is
that
not
fair?
a fair trade. What? I just
That's a
traded
fair
away a
trade.
first for Mixon. Well, how was
A
that?
first in what? What did
Darnell
you give away?
Mooney.
Yeah, well, that was a bad trade.
No, it was not a bad trade. Mixon's going to
I
go
don't
off.
know.
You know who Mixon plays next week? The Jets.
Mixon's going to go off a fucking cliff.
What's it like being 0-7 in the redraft league?
It's the first time I've ever been 0-7. Doesn't feel great. But I think this week I really could pull out a win.
Really? You actually
I'm
think
missing
that?
Lamar Jackson, but I'm missing Lamar Jackson, but I'll have Michael Pittman, AJ Brown, Alvin Kamara, Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson. It's a pretty good lineup. Probably not
It's so
playing
tough,
Derrick
dude.
Henry in that league. I've got such a tough schedule. You win some, you lose some. It is what it is.
Of course, after being 0-7, you're facing the first place team in Ethan. Like,
Yep. Yeah, dude.
what are you gonna do? That sucks.
Whatever. Seriously, what can you do?
All right, why don't we get into the? Well, I did want to mention if you had started Herbert in place of AJ Dillon this week, you still would have lost by 1 point, which I think is pretty
man.
fitting for your overall
Yeah, that's pretty
Redraft.
heartbreaking. That's good to know.
season.
At least that that takes away some of the sad feelings because you're like, well, I can't do anything anyway.
Yeah. So, why don't we get into the dues of the week? So my dude of the week is gonna have to be Michael Pittman Jr. He helped me win in 2 matchups, my work league and the League of Records / Keeper League. He went 4 for 4 with 105 and a touchdown. In some terrible weather. You know, I mean, obviously not great quarterback performances overall, but that wasn't necessarily their fault. But I mean, the guy is he's coming into his own, and he looks really good on the field when the ball's in his hand.
I really like Michael Pittman.
He's great.
I wish I had him in Dynasty because I think he's going to only get better. He's got a very prototypical wide receiver 1 build. He's a big guy, 6'4". So I think he's a stud. If they get a better player at quarterback, I think that's what's important.
And they will. They're not gonna. Carson Wentz is not the future. Like they're
Carson
still
Wentz should
looking.
not be the future.
They should try to get Deshaun Watson. But yeah, Pittman will be the number 1 there. T.Y. Hilton's gonna either retire or be gone or just not play because he always is hurt. But I do think there's a chance the Colts bring in a veteran like Allen Robinson. But
yeah, that could be.
Michael Pittman as of right now I think he's an every week starter. You should have him in your lineup every week.
Yeah, I think really he's becoming pretty plug and play. Where he's going to get enough work no matter what that you're going to want to start him because any week he gets a touchdown, he's going to be really good.
Absolutely. Jake, who's your dude of the week?
DeAndre Swift.
Oh yeah, You gotta get Swifty.
DeAndre Swift put up a very kingly 28.4 points.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he had quite a line. He has 13 rushing attempts for 48 yards, 10 targets for 8 receptions and 96 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Yeah, unbelievable. He's been incredible this season. I think he's going to continue to be incredible. Yeah, great things to say about DeAndre Swift. And
for me, he's been a ridiculously big surprise because I thought he was going to be a massive disappointment just based on the offense.
yeah, I mean, it's the Lions, so.
I think this proves, though, is like
Understandable.
if you have a really good player, even on a bad team, an 0-7 Lions team, doesn't really matter. Like it for the most part.
It doesn't matter if they're involved in the receiving game. I don't necessarily
True.
want Derrick Henry when they're getting the shit kicked out of them.
Even then, Derrick Henry's throwing and catching passes at this moment in time. So
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's-
mean, I guess that is true.
I don't know
Gotta
if that's
stop
the best
using him as
comp,
the
but
example.
yeah.
But
I see what
you
you're saying,
understand what
though.
I'm saying. Like that, yeah. You don't want Nick Chubb, I guess, would be the kind of person I would say.
Sure, I would say you don't want like a
necessarily
Michael Carter or maybe like even a Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams on a negative gain script where they're
Right.
not going to run the ball. Duds of the week, I'm going to go ahead and say Devonta Smith. It's his rookie season, but I guess if I'm comparing him to a guy like Jamar Chase, who I thought Devonta Smith was going to be better than Jamar Chase, I want to blame this on Jalen Hurts because he's a bad football quarterback, but a great fantasy quarterback. He's been top 12 every single week. But with Devonta Smith going 5 for 61, maybe it's the fact that Jalen Hurts just can't get him the damn ball, or he's throwing it in double coverage, throwing interceptions. It's been disappointing, I think, for a guy you spent a 5th-round pick on in Dynasty and in redraft for the most part, 5th or 6th-round pick. I'm trying to trade him personally. I would rather have a
I don't blame
veteran,
you.
a
Yeah.
proven veteran on my team.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think he's going to be good. He's in Heisman. I think he's going to be really good. But
Me too.
yeah, it might be time to cup 8.
I think it's time. At least in Dynasty, I'm looking to trade. Give me like a Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. I'm trying to get A.J. Brown even. I think there's
Yeah,
gonna be
I mean, yeah.
I think that he's going to be really good second half of the season here. It's tricky because he could lose you
Yeah.
some weeks because you're expecting, a touchdown and 5 or 6 receptions, and he's losing you weeks. So you don't want that.
Nope. You want to win. You want to win your weeks, actually.
Preferably
A
you
little
do want to
fantasy
win.
Analysis.
You want to win your matchups. Yeah.
Yeah. My dud would probably be Mark Andrews. 6.8 points on, 7 targets for 3 receptions for 48 yards and a fumble. It's not great. Not what you
tough.
want, especially after that huge blow-up game. Obviously you want that every week, but what you really need is 15 points. 15 points from Mark Andrews would have won me my week in that. If he had got as projected, I would have won. So that's kind of disappointing. But he's still a great tight end. So on to the next week.
I think a guy worth mentioning that had a really good week on the ground is Jonathan Taylor. 18 for 107 or a touchdown. 3 receptions.
Yeah.
He did fumble the ball, which did hurt his overall, obviously, point totals. But
I mean, he still had a great week.
he's so good at football. It's crazy.
He's really good at football.
Cool. Well, why don't we talk about this week's matchups?
Let's talk.
Talking matchups.
All right, Jake. Why don't we talk about the league of record here? We are going off. I am 5-2. Jake 6-1. 1-2 in the league.
Ooh, this is a big week.
Big week.
Yeah, this is a very important matchup because you're in second, I'm in first. You have a higher point total, so if you win this one, theoretically you take first.
I would take first. Well.
Oh
no.
yeah, you would. You absolutely would. I mean, I would have to score like 50 points, so you would take first. So that's pretty crazy.
And I think both of us do have. You have the strongest lineup you could have minus Darren Waller. I'm pretty much there as well minus Christian McCaffrey. So I guess I do have the dilemma this week whether to start the stack of Dak and CD or just throw Stafford in there against Houston.
Ooh, Stafford against Houston is
It's juicy.
it's tempting, but that's also I think that might be a Darrell Henderson game more than anything.
You're right. And right now I do have Stafford in there. I'm considering starting him just because he's the number 8 quarterback on the year. Like he's so good.
thought he was
Actually, that might
higher.
be 8 overall.
Yeah, that's 8 overall.
Either way, I mean he's right around the cusp of top 5, depending on your league format. But I mean he's been great. So I mean for me, I don't know whether to start him or not because Dak has also been really good, and he just came off a bye, so he's going to be well rested and hopefully out to kill the Vikings on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's a tough start set. I think you should probably drop both of those guys and start Ben Roethlisberger. Not a
bad idea.
Yeah, he has the kind of experience you want at the helm.
He's a veteran. Yeah, two-time Super Bowl winner.
Do either of those guys have Super Bowls?
No, and neither of them have even played in a Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. So
that's something you might want to consider.
Interesting. Who do you think? Let's go over this. Who has a better week, Jefferson or Godwin?
Jefferson.
Okay. Who has a better week, CD or Deontay Johnson?
Ooh, this is a division matchup. I think it's Deontay Johnson.
Wow. Okay, you're gonna keep going with your players, Gibson or DeAndre Swift?
I mean, these two are easy. I think Gibson's been losing work and he's injured.
Chuba or Eckler?
Chuba or Eckler? Come on now. Do you really want to ask that question?
I'm asking the question because this will help determine who's going to win
Eckler.
the matchup. Okay. Are you going to start Taylor Heineke?
Probably.
Jeez.
I'll see what he's been really good, dude, and he's also been better in matchups where like they might be tight because he can rush. I mean, I don't know.
I think I have you beat at tight end. I think I have you beat at flex.
You have me beat at quarterback.
I think Debo's going to beat Jonathan Taylor this week. I do think he'll have a better game than Jonathan Taylor. It's tight, though. It's close.
I don't know. It's tough.
It's going to be a close game regardless.
Tennessee did kind of stuff him last time. We'll see. I don't know. But I also don't really want to start. I kind of want to start DJ Moore, but like maybe. We'll see.
But I'd like to beat you because I hardly ever beat you in the keeper league, so would not mind.
Yeah, that's because you're bad and I'm good.
Sure, we'll go with that. If that helps you sleep at night, buddy.
Sure.
Speaking of you being good at fantasy football, you are playing Ethan, who's 5-2, and you're 0-7 in the redraft league. You gonna win that matchup?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going against Patrick, who lives in Germany,
and is just handing out free wins.
Yeah, I if I lose to him, I'm gonna be pretty upset. But the man is on such a different time schedule.
I'm gonna make so much fun of you. Yeah.
He's like the taco of the league, to be honest. He's just non-existent. Nothing wrong with that. I love Patrick, but
I hope he crushes you.
He probably will. I need Devonta Booker to start. Oh no, I have Dalvin Cook, so I got Godwin, probably a good week. He's got Allen Robinson. He should probably throw him to the waivers. He's got Mike Evans, Nick Chubb, Gibson, Conklin, Damian Harris. I think I beat him with Robinson, Dalvin Cook, Hawkinson, Sutton, Godwin, Matt Ryan, Devonta Smith. I think I have him beat. I'm not too concerned. The one thing annoying about this league, dude, is that like everybody above sixth place is 5-2, and I'm down here at 2-5. So
yeah, this is tough to come back from.
I would love to make a playoff.
I'm not making playoffs in this. I'm not making playoffs in this league.
Oh no, you're done.
I'm just trying not to have to make the music video.
That's the goal.
The problem is, dude, if it's fucking Patrick, there's no way Patrick's making a music video.
He has to.
Yeah, I know he has to, but he's in the woods, doing stuff.
I don't care. You have to do it.
I don't think he's.
If I have to do it, Patrick has to fucking do it. Like, I'm a busy guy.
I told Frank I would do it for him, and he could just buy beer.
If you buy me beer, then I'll. If you do it for me, I'm down with that too.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I just can't drink enough for it to be like really, really worth it, but it'll still be fun. Because I would just drink you out of house and home. I would just drink really nice beers.
Some nice IPAs, good stuff.
Ugh, gross.
What do you consider a nice beer?
Sour.
I like sours. I like everything, so you're not gonna gross me out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, in Dynasty, I am going against our good friend Logan, who I just got Mixon off of. He just lost last week. He's 2-5. I am leading the league at 6-1. He's got some people on bye, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Sammy Watkins on bye. That's gonna affect the matchup.
Oh no. This week would be really big for me in Dynasty. If I can beat Frank at 5-2 and I'm 3-4, that would be big.
Are you still trying to make the playoffs here, or what's the goal?
I'm definitely making a run in Dynasty now.
All right.
I got Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor, and Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley. If I can get Galladay back, or if I can start getting something out of somebody else on my bench, like if Jeff Wilson comes back and he's remotely viable.
Yeah. See, I have him in the keeper league, and I'm hoping I can plug him in at flex at some point this season.
Or I mean, if Elijah Moore can just be, something I can play.
That's not going to happen.
Shut the fuck up, Jonathan.
But yeah, I'm going against Logan this week. Our good friend Logan. He is a PT. He does all of our injury stuff. No, he doesn't. He has refused to do it. But I think I'm going to
said, please stop asking.
I think I'm going to kick the shit out of him. He has Rashad Penny and Chase Edmonds at running back, and AJ Green, Jalen Waddle, and Darnell Mooney, Michael Pittman, and Jalen Hurts. You're going to get your ass smashed in this week, Logan, with my Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Tom Brady, Joe Mixon, Kyle Pitts, and Cordero Patterson. Good luck.
Wow.
You want me to just name my team again because it's so fucking good?
No.
Yeah. What's your matchup with Frank looking like, dude?
That's Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Jefferson, Evans, Rick Seals-Jones Jr., Calvin Ridley, Elijah Moore, and then I got Joe Burrow, who has been phenomenal.
Those new ligaments, man. They must have put something special in those meds that they gave him over the past offseason.
They put a little special sauce in his ligaments.
Mm-hmm. Maybe some Chick-fil-A sauce, if I remember correctly.
Week 10 is going to be tough when I don't have him because I also don't have Zach Wilson now, and Zach Wilson's not going to be around for that. So,
see, I'm worried about Week 9 because I have Tom Brady and Trey Lance, and Jared Goff is my quarterbacks in Dynasty.
Hey, I mean, Jared Goff hasn't been the worst. So
he's been pretty bad.
Anyway, yeah, he has. But I think that I can win this week, and if I can win this week, and I can win Week 9. Then I should be in pretty good place. So
we'll see. All right, guys. All right, listeners, and Jake, why don't we get into the TFD mailbox?
Let's do it.
Fantasy Dudes Mailbox.
All right, this comes from a high school friend of mine. Will Josh Gordon do anything impressive with the Chiefs? What are your thoughts on Gordon?
No, I think you'd have to see serious injury in the rest of the wideouts. I just don't. I don't think he's. I think he'll probably have a flash or two before he's done for good. But I think he's probably trying to make some more money and then move on. And I don't really think it's something that you should expect serious fantasy relevant, especially fantasy relevance that's sustainable too, which is important.
I would agree. He's 30. In the 3 games he's played for the Chiefs, he's scored a total of like 2.6 fantasy points. The issue with the Chiefs is that they have 2 people that they want to give the ball to, Kelsey and obviously Tyreek Hill. Guys like Demarcus Robinson, is that his name? Demarcus Robinson?
Yeah. Yes, Demarcus Robinson.
And McCole Hardman are like, you're lucky if they get a touchdown or are worthy flex options on a given week. If you're forced to start them, most of the time you're going to be disappointed. I think the very same thing is going to happen with Gordon, at least for fantasy. If we're talking about him as a football player, I think that he could make some big plays and help the Chiefs win some games, but it's not going to be relevant for fantasy. As a person, I love Josh Gordon. I think he made some cool plays as a Patriot too, and I do love watching the guy play. I'll say that. This is from Peter last night. I asked him to come up with a fucking question for the podcast because I was talking to him on Xbox. We were playing a little Rocket League. Peter.
Is that a plug for Rocket League?
No, but I'm 26. So take that with.
Yeah, I guess it's good. I guess it's good that you weren't playing Fortnite last night.
That was the night before. Peter's question is, how do I make a good trade and make sure I don't get ripped off? I would say do your fucking research.
I mean, seriously, just go use at least a trade calculator. There's plenty of services that assign value to players based on their positional scarcity and like what they produce compared to other ones, and give you a decent idea of what is going to be fair. It's not absolute, but if you're feeling like, is this fair, and you go look and it's fair there, it might confirm, or you might be like, well, it's fair, but I don't want to do it. So then So I would say do that for starters, but otherwise, yeah, just do your research.
Yeah, that's really all I can do. Just after, looking at playing fantasy for as many years as I have, I keep very up to date on the output of players and potential future output. It's hard to know because it's all probability based, but best judgment, I guess. Don't make a trade if it doesn't. Don't make a trade if it doesn't feel right.
So speaking of trades, We had somebody ask on our Instagram, do they trade away Jacobs and Andrews for Goddard and Mixon?
Jacobs and Andrews for Goddard and Mixon. I think it's,
I would rather have. That's tough. I would rather have Andrews as the problem.
I would take it. I think that Jacobs is. I don't really want Jacobs on my team. If I'm going to have to start an RB2,
Yeah.
I don't want him. You want that positional value at running back, and I think Goddard could very well be great for the rest of the season at that position without Ertz on the team.
Is, I want Andrews and Mixon. That's my problem.
Well, you can't have that. Not the question.
Yeah. So, I would go. Yeah, I guess I would go. I guess Goddard and Mixon. I like Andrews, but I don't want to make a homer pick.
And you also don't like Mixon, so that's a tough one for you.
I don't like Mixon. Yeah. So. Yeah. All right.
Next question is from our friend Tyler. Can I trust James Robinson to be that long-term guy in Jacksonville, even when ETN returns? I
don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's a tough sell, especially if Urban Meyer is not in prison or still the coach. Hey,
look.
Too soon?
I mean, I don't think he's going to prison. I don't think they send you to prison for, like, fingering girls at a bar, well, unfortunately.
Maybe they should, because that's sickening to me, what he did.
Yeah, that was weird.
Also,
that was super weird, but yeah. I don't think he's going to jail. So I think the long-term success for Robinson is he probably gets traded away, which would be great for everyone involved.
Don't you think the Jags could get more from trading ETN?
I don't know, because isn't that a bad injury?
Who's Liz Frank? Anne Frank?
That's the fucking name of his injury. That's the name of ETN's injury.
It's called a Liz Frank injury? What the fuck is that?
I swear to God. Now you're making me sound like I'm fucking don't know what I'm talking about.
It sounds familiar, but what the hell? Logan?
Where's Logan?
What is the recovery process for the Liz and Frank injury?
I mean, he just... Okay, wait, hold up. Logan just traded for Travis Etienne, so clearly...
Oh, so he must have some inside information on whatever...
He just traded for... Oh, see, Jonathan? See? That's how we get our info from him.
This is why he doesn't want to be on the fucking show.
I guess the injury can't be that bad then.
Dude,
if Dr. Logan is doing it...
He's probably hanging out with Travis Etienne on the daily. Just like doing his PT recovery. That is what doctors do. You
graduate in Maine, and then Travis Etienne calls you and he says, "Hey, do you want to hang out?"
That's the process.
That's what doctors do.
Step 1, step 2, Travis Etienne. Cool. Well, that's cool. Why don't we take a look at the wide receivers for this season? We have done the quarterbacks and the running backs, and we've kind of talked about what we think our predictions are going to be. Who's going to finish number 1 for the rest of season? This week, we're talking about wide receivers. So I think it's no surprise that Cooper Kupp of coffee has been electric, nuclear, fucking bullshit if you're going against him. He put up 33 against me last week, and I still won, shockingly.
I could have kept him in redraft, and it still would not have mattered.
That's crazy, dude. 190 fantasy points, 9 touchdowns, 809 yards. I'm pretty sure he's got 80. No, that can't be true. 56 receptions? That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's on pace for an insane amount, though.
But here we go with the standings. We got Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. Wow. Devontae Adams, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Deebo Samuel, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, DeAndre Hopkins, Godwin, Cordero Patterson, who's also a running back, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Adam Thielen, DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, and Michael Pittman round out the top 24, I believe. Looking at that, Jake, barring injury, who do you see being number 1?
It's Kupp. Kupp is number 1 for sure. Kansas City has been falling off a little bit. I don't think Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver 1 for sure the rest of the season. I honestly think it's probably Jamar Chase. I think that Marquise Hollywood Brown still manages to be a wide receiver 1 this season. Otherwise, it seems fairly locked in. I think as soon as Mike Williams is back, he's going to continue to eat. I think DJ Moore could fall off a little bit of a cliff here, depending on what happens with Christian McCaffrey. But all in all, I think it goes probably Kupp, Hill, Chase. And then from there on out, it's a little bit wishy-washy. Devontae Adams probably is right there. And then I think Evans is going to continue to have a great season. And I hope DeAndre Hopkins, you'd expect more out of him, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't expect, I guess maybe it's more of a note on Cordero Patterson, but I wouldn't really expect them to be competing for position. I
think, and if I'm a little bit biased here, I do think that Chris Godwin is going to climb that list. I
just don't think he has. I think he's got potential to have enormous games. I just don't think he has potential to consistently be the guy. You have,
but there
Evans
there isn't a guy.
And Gronk's coming back.
Like, there is no guy on the Viking or on the Bucks. Antonio Brown is the reception guy.
You can only have so many points a fantasy game, and they have 3 wide receivers that are viable. They'll have they have a running back and a tight end.
You're right. Though.
All really. I just don't. I think he could be like 6 or 8.
What is the common thread around these top 5 guys?
They're the guy.
Exactly. Cooper Kupp, he's the guy. Tyreek Hill, he's the guy. Jamar Chase, the guy. Adams, obviously the guy. And Marquise Hollywood Brown is the only guy on that team outside of the tight ends that are on these teams to catch footballs.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's interesting how a tight end and a wide receiver seem to be able to coexist better, because maybe, I guess, there's different. I don't know. They can get a lot of work. They're not running the same routes to try to get points.
It's interesting. I've never looked at it this way, because I'm always, in terms of number 1 top 5 wide receiver in the league, it does seem to be the case where if that's like the singular target on the team, like by far the best guy, the output's there. So it's worth investing that pick. I mean, as of right now, Cooper Kupp is already 200 yards ahead of the next best guy.
It's Cooper Kupp. I don't even think there's an argument for the number for like. I think 2 things are pretty locked in at this point of the season. Cooper Kupp is going to be the best overall wide receiver, and Jamar Chase is going to be the offensive rookie of the year. I don't think that those 2 things are going to become negotiable as the season goes on, unless Cooper Kupp gets hurt, which I just don't see happening.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, he's 41 points ahead of Tyreek Hill overall. If it continues, there's no chance.
Tyreek Hill's not been doing, like, it's not like his team's doing better. They're doing worse than they have been. So,
and what's funny is this actually doesn't even factor in this week's numbers.
Oh.
So this 33 points added to Cooper Kupp means he would have had over 220 overall points, and Tyreek Hill did not have a good game. So Jamar Chase is actually probably number 2 at this time. Okay, yeah, let's talk about some survival football.
Survival football.
John fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm really bad. I'm catching up to you, Jake. Only 2 games behind you now. Going into week 8.
If you come back and win on this, I'm gonna be so sad.
I was actually,
but I haven't been. I think you've been picking more chalk picks. I've been picking like Bengals and Ravens were tough. That was a tough matchup.
You should have heard. Have you listened to last week's podcast?
Yeah.
So did you hear what you said about the Ravens at the end of the show?
No, what did I say?
You said that they wanted more.
Man.
Which clearly they didn't.
Clearly they didn't. They did not on defense. That's for sure.
Yeah. The Bengals
Humphreys had
amazing.
A terrible game. Elliott, Patrick Queen, they all did not play well.
Yeah,
Bengals
the Ravens
looked incredible.
Like
Humphreys really. I mean, Humphreys owned up to it and was like, "Yeah, that was really bad."
It's just crazy to see the Bengals. The number 1 team in the AFC is the Bengals right now. They would have the number 1 overall seed if the playoffs started today. Astonishing.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah.
So,
I'm going.
You can take the Rams against the Texans. I feel like that's a good pick.
Oh, I will take that's a good one. I'm taking Rams against Texans.
I'm so tempted to take the Lions this week at home against the Eagles, but I am trying to make up ground on you.
You should take that.
You
Come on, I'm not taking chalk picks. Just take what you believe in.
I believe in that pick, but every time I believe in someone, they fucking lose.
But I'm not taking. Oh, come on, get out of here! I'm not taking some garbage. Just take it.
I'm looking at the other matchups. I almost feel like the Falcons could win this week against the Panthers. I'm gonna take the Falcons. I think that's a pretty equal pick, but I'm taking the Falcons.
That's a pretty good pick. Yeah,
against the Panthers this week. All right, so that's survival football, and that is also the end of the Those Fantasy Dudes podcast for this week. You can also this is it.
That was it. Sorry, guys.
Our goal was 10 episodes.
If you've been liking it, thanks.
Yeah.
See you later.
Unsubscribe. Leave us a bad review. Unfollow. All of the above. Please and thank you. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Those Fantasy Dudes. Check out our website that I worked really hard on. And please submit questions there, because it proves that if you submit a question there, I will eventually send you either...
Jonathan will send you $100 cash.
I'll send you 100 pesos. How about that? I will go to the bank.
I think that's like $1.
Yeah. I think it is exactly almost $1. Yeah, 100 pesos in your bank account immediately if you send us a question on thosefantasydudespodcast.com via the Contact Us page. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube, because eventually we will have a video version of the show, and make sure to turn those post notifications on. And stay tuned every single Wednesday for a new episode of the podcast. Submit those start sit questions last minute. Sunday mornings, Jake will be there on our stories to help you out.
No one ever submits them. I hate you.
I feel like a few people have.
Yeah, a few people have.
Yeah.
I try to answer.
We like those people. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Good luck in your Week 8 matchups. Unless you're facing me, fuck you, Jake.
Fuck you, John.
Thanks for tuning in to Those Fantasy Dudes podcast. Make sure to tune in next week and follow us at Those Fantasy Dudes on Instagram.